This is Feed Your Mind. So when it comes to the Pope's name, this might alarm you because the Pope has a very interesting real name. A lot of people don't know that popes actually pick their names when they become popes. So with this Pope Francis, that's not his actual name. And none of the popes before him used actual names either. They're all false names. So when it comes to the Pope's real name, his actual name is George Mario Bergoglio. So is it reaching to look at his last name and say, why is the word God in his name? Because in the Bible, we saw in Revelations, I believe it is, where they talk about Gog and Magog, and it has something to do with the last days. So is it possible that this could be a clue, or is that reaching? Because for his name to be Bergoglio, it just kind of stands out to me. And I'd like to know your thoughts on that. But when it comes down to it, we can get into what the Roman Catholic Church actually is, because look, the Roman Catholics have a very sketchy origin. I've covered it in my previous videos when I discussed how Constantine saw a cross in the sky, and I talked about how a lot of the pagan holidays have been introduced into Christianity through the Roman Catholics. So pagan holidays like Christmas and Easter, they involve those holidays with the Messiah, but really Christmas is not the Messiah's birthday. And Easter, they try to say, has to do with the resurrection of the Messiah. So they try to involve the Messiah in those holidays, but really they originate with pagan origins, because Easter is a very pagan idea that was going on before the whole concept of involving the Messiah in these holidays. So I get very skeptical when I see Christian religions still practicing these pagan holidays introduced by the Catholic Church. And even the cross itself is said to have been a pagan symbol. So you have to be educated on this type of stuff, I guess, to even care about it. And you have to look into it and decide for yourself if you're comfortable with these things. That's why I don't do organized religion at the moment, because, you know, when it comes to it, I've looked into this stuff and determined that it's very sketchy, and it all originates from the Roman Catholics. So before they were Roman Catholics, they were just Rome. They're the same people. So in Rome, that's when they executed the Messiah, and then they went after all of his followers and his disciples. So his followers, they scattered the land, and now there's a lot of information coming out that the people who are occupying the Holy Land is not the actual people that were in the Bible. So you have to look more into that if you want, but this is where a lot of the information is leading to. So they're talking about the origin of the people of the Bible, and now we got the Khazars occupying the land, saying that they're the people of the Bible. So that's what everybody just assumes. But when you look more into it, there's a lot of information to be figured out. So look, when it comes to this Pope, though, I mean, look, his name is Bergoglio. Gog and Magog is something to do with the last days. So there's this Pope prophecy. Is it possible that this could have something to do with it as well? Where, from what I recall, there's this Pope prophecy where this Pope a long time ago had written down a succession of popes that he expected to take power, and there's going to be a final Pope. So from what I recall, they're saying basically this is like one of the final popes according to that prophecy. And then his name actually happens to be Gog. So that's kind of strange, because when it comes down to it, the Roman Catholics, they introduced sun worship to the world through the heliocentric model, because Pythagoras was a sun worshiper. And then the Roman Catholics decided to take on the heliocentric model and introduce that to the world as mandatory teachings for everybody. So at first it was the other way around, where it sounded like they would imprison you or, you know, go after you if you didn't believe in geocentrism and stuff like that. But then there was a time where it sounds like there was a pivot, and then they decided to take on the teachings of Constantine and become heliocentrists. And now to this day, a lot of people are unknowingly practicing sun worship. So this was all introduced by the Roman Catholic Church, according to my research. And so with heliocentrism, you had the birth of atheism, and You had the birth of evolution and all that connected to the concept of heliocentrism. So that all came from the Roman Catholics. Plus, they're saying the Big Bang Theory itself was written by a Roman Catholic as well. And when it comes to this Pope, this Bergoglio, but his name is Pope Francis now, I guess. But when it comes to this guy, they're saying he's the first Jesuit Pope or something. So that's another strange thing, isn't it? So yeah, there's a lot of sketchy things going on with this information, especially with his name being Bergoglio. I find that all a bit odd. So I just wanted to share that with you today, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section, what you think about all this. So I'm going to leave some links if you want to do more research with me on the Bible and a lot of the secrets I've uncovered when researching the Bible, because there's really supposed to have been way more books from what I looked into. I mean, some people say there's only supposed to be just a few apocryphal books, but then others are saying that there's actually maybe hundreds of apocryphal books. So who really determined the canon, and who decided what are the final books that they were going to put into the final canon? Was this all related to the Catholics as well? Why did they exclude all these other books? Look, I go into all this plus much more in my playlist, Secrets of the Bible. So check that out if you get a chance. I'm going to leave the link in the comment section and description box. I'm also going to leave links to my other channels, my social media, my Feed Your Mind store, my free email newsletters, and much more. If you would like to support this channel, please donate as little as $1 by becoming a YouTube member or a Patreon. Your help will keep this channel online. So thanks for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Feed Your Mind signing off.